Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and the following is a word in context sort of question that is asking us for the word particles here in line 58. You must know by this point that every time that you see a word like this, it is very unlikely that the answer choice will be the exact definition of the word. For this particular test, they really like to test the words change, how the word's meaning changes in the context of the sentence. So I can already guess that molecules, fragments, and specks are not going to be good answer choices, and I'm not going to go ahead and immediately cross them out, but they're very unlikely to be the correct answer because these are the standard definitions of what the word particles would be. And actually, fragments and specks are so close to each other that it's very unlikely that either or the other is correct, because then both would have to be correct. So let's just take a look here at line 58. So this occurs in this particular passage, and what we want to do is we usually want to read a sentence before and after, and it ends up being pretty much the entire paragraph, so why not just read the entire thing? Cecil, who naturally preferred congratulations to apologies, drew down his mouth at the corners. Was this a reception his action would get from the world? Of course, he despised the world as a whole. Every thoughtful man should. It is almost a test of refinement. But he was sensitive to the successive particles of it, of the world, which, every refined man should detest, of course, which he encountered. So which particles of the world is he encountering? It turns out here that this is said right after we see Lucy entering the garden. It says, and down the garden he saw Lucy herself. Yes, he was disappointed. And of course, the reference to a man hating the world has to do with this disappointment that he's got, as well as the more metaphysical that, the world is not a great place for a lot of people. So that once you get to this part of the sentence, we're talking about you see Lucy, you think about, you see this reaction that he drew down his mouth at the corners, and then all of a sudden, the world, seems to be going on against him. It looks like the particles here are going to be something of the world to which he should be sensitive. So though he does not like the world, there are parts of it to which he needs to show sensitivity. So molecules in the world, specks, and fragments, these are all wrong. If we think of traces here, traces of the world that you must be sensitive to doesn't really make much sense. What traces would we be thinking of? Acquaintances in the world, parts of the world which do, deserve sensitivity are, well, at the very least, people. So Lucy, right? And it's followed by occasionally he could be quite rude, so he doesn't want to be as rude as he usually is. And this is why he goes ahead and, sensitively approaches Lucy and then responds, I am sorry I've given you a shock. Here's the apology, here's the sensitivity. We're talking about his way of addressing Lucy, so we're talking about acquaintances. I hope that that helps explain this problem. Happy prepping.